People are always like, what can I accomplish? Truth is, like, what are you willing to not accomplish?
Yeah.
How far are you willing to be able to go and maybe even fail? How far are you willing to go there? But I'm trying to sell you from stop being sold by the scam, which is the system. We literally taken over the entire planet.
Oh my God, I'm proud to be a human.
That's exactly, bro, that's exactly how I feel.
I could have been a dog.
To be real, dude, that's been one of the, because people always ask me, has it been hard being in the spotlight at such a young age? The hardest part for me was...
Here's the issue. We think like visionaries, we act like internet marketers. And we think like visionaries hate on internet marketers, and we act like internet marketers.
100.
And then we talk about how we don't do internet marketing, but then we do internet marketing.
And actually, we don't even do internet marketing properly.
Dude, because here's the thing, we don't want to do internet marketing.
If we were an internet marketing company, like one of these guys, we'd actually...
What do you mean?
Customer service, delivery of product, and just a lot more things that most internet marketers do that we haven't done because we don't classify ourselves as internet marketers, yet we are still internet marketers because we haven't climbed ourselves out of that hole yet. But we thought just because we think a little bit differently that all of a sudden we're out the hole. Just because you think about the clouds don't make you in the clouds, bro. You still be in the hole. So like, here, even though we think...
I told someone our vision, right? Nick Fisher. And he was like, he said, I don't think you could think bigger than Sam. And I told him what I believed. And he's like, I don't think you're showing the actions to back that right now.
100%.
And I was like, I wanted to argue him, but I was like, shoot, man. 100%.
That's how I feel. I always want to argue with people.
I'm like, no. Oh shit.
Yeah, what
right.
I'm trying to argue with them about, bro.
I built a multiple seven-figure company. That sounds cool, right? That sounds cool. Multiple seven figures in $1 trillion.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
Not
a
good.
joke.
And literally, we've been living like jokes, bro.
Yeah, and like we act like we made it.
We haven't made
We're
any.
broke.
We're broke.
7 figures a year is the epitome of broke.
100%. We're more broke than most.
We're
just rich broke.
We're
We're just broke people with clout.
Favorite thing you say, bro.
The favorite?
The favorite. You wanna know why? Because here's the thing. Growing up, everyone's like, oh, if you can make $1 million, if you can make $1 million, oh, if you make $1 million, you can be rich, you can buy anything you want. And once you actually run a business, it's like, if you make $1 million and that's it.
And you know what I feel like? I feel like we got complacent because we made $1 million.
100%. Because here's the...
Wow, dude, but you realize how bad that messed us up?
Oh, so bad. Because here's the thing. For our entire lives, we wanted to, and like you had made $1 million, but like we didn't have like a company,
empire,
right? Like an empire, like
cash flow either.
Yeah, cash
flow.
flow.
Always spurts.
You would get spurts of money, right? But we had to find like cash flow. It was like we made it in a way, and like even though in our head that's not where we wanted to be, that's where we were always striving for so long. And so we hit it, and then we felt cool, and then because of that, we wanted to hold on to the success we had, and for that reason, we didn't get the success we wanted because we were trying to hold on to what we had, and we're like, oh, this got us
here.
You can't play keep, and so rather than doing this and going out and starting talking to people and trying to like raise $1 billion or do this or do that, we're like, let's just do internet marketing the same way that we got to this multiple seven-figure company. But here's the thing, and especially with internet marketing, when you launch a new offer, it crushes more than it does afterwards.
Well, and we were comfortable with the product. We were comfortable with how many numbers we
How many new videos do we film for the product?
None.
How much innovative marketing do we do?
None.
Like what are we doing?
There's two things that really matter if we want to impact kids, and that's money and attention.
Money, attention.
And we currently suck at both. I actually wrote that out 2 days ago.
Money,
that's the thing.
attention.
For example, I do my dark side every single night, right?
Yeah.
Because we were in Las Vegas, I didn't do it one night. And I just looked into my notes, and it was like May 29th, and it's like now June 6th, I think is what it is. And I wrote out for tonight, because this is the dark side, it's June 6th. That says enough. And what I was saying to myself is, you literally went 5 days without writing your dark side. That is your dark side. The fact that you say to yourself, and I even said in Vegas, 2 people, I even said to Andy Frisella, that every single night I address my dark side. I said on my live stream today, but it's not true. I don't address my dark side every day. I feel
like we aren't as hungry as we used to be for that reason. We feel like we have the right to excuse our discipline.
Well, and we use the youth card. We think because we're young, we have to have fun. We need to think about things. You know, we need to.
And dude, here's the thing.
We're still finding ourselves.
We write down our epiphanies. We write down this. We don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like,
rarely.
Like we don't take massive action. We take baby action.
That's the thing. And that's the thing.
You know, we made Anthony get out of the car.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Guess what? We don't do that on our own our own level of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like for us, getting out of the car is hard because we've done a lot of hard things in our life.
We've done a lot of that.
Right, but it used to be hard.
But what we do,
but it used to be hard, right?
Yeah.
But now, what is that getting out of the car, right? What is it? I don't know, stalking ability. I don't know what it is
for me. Public speaking, bro.
100%.
Doing public speaking, bro. Like I said, I was gonna do public speaking, where I'm obviously gonna go out, speak to people.
Like, why didn't we do it that day?
A group of strangers, and we didn't do it.
Why didn't we do it that day?
We don't take big enough. We literally don't take big enough actions.
And not big enough risks.
That comes back to the most basic principle we learned since we were like 9. But it's true, dude. We haven't taken enough action. We've not been in. Like this is what I was just thinking. Our life has been boring, bro.
Dude,
why
so
would
boring.
anyone be intrigued with us? Our life has just been the most above average mediocre life. Is exactly what we've been living. Just above the line, but not greatness. That's what I wrote out today. I wrote out, "You're not great," because people say to me on social media, like, "You have greatness," and people, I think to myself,
we both think we aren't great.
Yeah, we both think we have greatness, and we do have greatness, but we aren't great.
Greatness.
Every kid has greatness.
Every kid has greatness.
Every person.
But here's the thing: most people they suffocate their greatness and settle.
Well, the reason is
we're settling at a higher level.
They have greatness, but that's not the problem. Thinking you have greatness is amazing, but believing you are great, that's when you get scared. And like for us, I feel like we believe we were great because everyone's told us. Everyone's like, I've seen people talk to you, Ryan, and when they talk to you, they're constantly like, "You have greatness, bro. You're gonna be something." They said it to me my entire life. Since I was 8 years old, I sold my autograph to some random dude in a baseball store for like $150 because I made him believe where I was going. Like people have seen greatness, and therefore I believe myself as great, which is why I've been good, if not below good. Think about people think what I've done is cool, dude. I haven't done anything compared to who I am. They're like, what's in my mind, the epiphanies I've had. There's people who are beating me who aren't even 1/10 of the person I am.
Think about this.
And not even with 1/100th of the mission I have.
100%. Think about this. We kind of like joke about like how people settle for an average life. Like, oh, what are they doing? We did the exact same thing. We settled at a higher level.
Settled on scale.
Settled on scale.
Dude, that needs to be a t-shirt. Don't settle on scale.
We pushed ourselves. We still push ourselves more than most people. We still work harder than most people. But guess what? We settled for what we're doing. If that makes sense.
No. We settled a lot.
We settled a lot, and like it's almost like, oh, we're doing better than most people, so that means it's good. It's like when you compare yourself to the average person, it makes you feel.
It's like what I said earlier with my dad.
100%.
How my room would be super, super dirty.
Yeah, tell that story.
Yeah, my room. No, it wouldn't be super, super dirty. Sorry. Growing up, my friends' rooms used to always be super dirty. And my friends wouldn't be able to come over sometimes because their room was so dirty, their parents wouldn't let them. And as a kid, it confused me because their room was so dirty, my dad didn't let me keep anything in there. It was a place where if I left a glass out in my room, let alone a sock on the floor, that would never happen. If I left a sock on the floor, he would make me, like, let's say for laundry, he would make me take the sock and literally put it in the laundry room, 3 floors down, and do that. Put it in the laundry room, pick it back up, and go up the 3 floors at least 15 times.
No way.
Literally. Dude, these are things I forget about. Like, this is how I grew up. And my dad, if there was a glass in the room, he would get mad. He'd be like, "Dad, like, I don't understand." I was like, you get so mad at me over a single glass because he had high standards for me. But the thing was, my friends were 10 times dirtier than I was. Yet my dad was 10 times harder on me over a glass than their parents were over the room just being dirty. And I always say to my dad, my friends' rooms are way dirtier. Why do you get mad at me? And he was like, "Why would you compare yourself to them?" And I'll say, "Well, because they're the same age as me." He's like, "Just because they're the same age as you, do they want what you want?" And I'd say, "No." They'd say, "Do they have what you have?" I'd say, "No." He would say, "Do they think the way you think?" I'd say, "No." He's like, "So if they're nothing like you, then why are you treating them as if they're like you?"
It's like this. When you're running a race, right? You'll win if you're going against slower people. But you'll have a faster time and lose if you're going against faster people, right? So if you compare yourself to the average, you're like pulling back your standards. So no matter how high your standards are, the second you start being like, "Oh, we're doing better than most people," your standards just drop.
Yeah.
You should be like, you should say your own, make them invisible once there's no one going as hard as you.
Yeah.
Be like, "This is where I should be. Why am I not here with them?"
That's how I was growing up with baseball.
Exactly. You compare yourself to Derek Jeter, and you're like,
not even just Derek Jeter. Like, I remember I got to the place where I was one of the best in my league, even though I played on some really incredible teams. So I was always being elevated, and because I was the shortest kid. But I remember even whenever I was the best on my team, I would always watch videos of kids in the Dominican because I would want to have some sort of figure. I had no clue who they were. And if my dad, like, say I was 5 a.m., the only way he would wake me up is he said, "The kids in Dominican are up right now." He would say this stuff to me. And it's like that, as a kid, I always had some sort of opponent that I never met. And I think that's key, being able to create an opponent you've never met. Because then once you meet an opponent, they become
You're trying to win.
Yeah, 100.
I'm really competitive, so when
I like the opponent that's way out there.
100%.
That's
invisible. Here's the thing,
the invisible opponent.
Because it's like Jaws, right, in the movie. You know how in Jaws in the movie they never actually showed the shark?
Yeah.
It's more like, it's scarier when you don't know what they're doing. It's the same thing with an opponent. When you know what you're trying to be, it's like, whatever. But like when you don't know who, you kind of have an idea. Like, it's like this mystic. They're almost like a myth, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to win against this myth, and you push yourself so much harder because you don't know what that myth is capable of. So what we need to do in business is create this myth figure we're trying to beat, right? And we need to be fighting every single day to beat that myth figure. Because here's the thing, I'm really competitive, you're really competitive, and when I really want to win, I will do.
You know what that figure really needs to be? We need to actually make this, and it sounds super kiddish, but we're going to do it.
100.
We need to create a figure in our mind, a symbol, that looks like blood. And the blood that symbol needs to be representing is some kid who committed suicide. And that needs to be what we fight against. That bloody monster.
And not just the kid who committed suicide, but the one who died 70 years before they went to the graveyard. The one who had greatness in them and just gave up in life.
See, that's powerful. That's where Ryan comes in. Because, dude, that's true. It's not just the kids who commit suicide. It's the kids who did commit suicide, they just didn't kill themselves physically.
Here's the thing.
It was mental
Here's the thing.
death.
Well, I don't know the percentage off the top of my head. I can't remember it. Who commit suicide, but it's really small compared to the ones who don't, right?
Yeah.
But think of all the ones who hated their life. That to me is worse than suicide. Because here's the thing. They were given the experience of life. And sure, they didn't end their life, but they didn't experience life. They didn't enjoy life. What's the point of living life if you don't enjoy it? And I don't mean in a, let's go party kind of way, but like deeply fulfilled. Like you look at monks, they don't go party. Monks do the same thing every single day, but they're deeply fulfilled because they're experiencing life and they're enjoying life in a way that most people can't. And it's like if most of the population hates their life, isn't fulfilled, and isn't working to solve problems, isn't trying to grow, isn't trying to build something, isn't creating, like the human mind is meant to create, and so people go their entire lives without creating anything. Think of how terribly sad that is. Like my greatest pleasure in life is when I'm creating. I know yours is too. When you're thinking of ideas, words. You're creating a vision for something. You're building teams. You're leading. It's creation. And some people never experience that in their whole life. So they do the same thing every day and die. And to me, that's even worse than the kids who commit suicide. The kids who commit suicide is a good way to get indoors, right? Look at all the kids who are committing suicide because that's like visual. People are like, oh my god, someone killed themselves.
Yeah, it's real.
And that's terrible. But statistically, that's not nearly as bad in my opinion as the people who have been dead their entire lives. Like, I want to wake up humanity to those people. Like every single time we're failing, it's those people. And like think about it, us ourselves, we need to be working harder on ourselves because we want to awaken humanity, but we're not fully awake ourselves.
That's what I was thinking the other day. We want people to have full fulfillment,
but we're not there.
We're not fully fulfilled. You know what I mean?
It's like the dating coach.
People. Yeah,
it's like a relationship coach who never has any good relationships.
Yeah.
Like we know someone who they want to do a book on relationships and they never have a relationship.
You know, spotlight at such a young age. The hardest part for me was living, sometimes feeling like a hypocrite.
100%. You make a video on being confident, and then one day you don't feel confident or
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like there would be things I would say, and I would live them for a while. But then let's be real, in life you fall off.
Think about what you said earlier. How you said on the podcast that someone in front of someone you really respect. How you do this one thing every single day, and then the next 4 days after you talk to him, you didn't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like,
and that's what I'm saying. So like for me, the hardest part about being someone who, ever since I was, had my first video hit 1 million views at I think it was 14, right? So it's been 14, 17, like 3 years of decent, not like even like most people, most child actors, but you know what I mean? And for me, it's been that exact thing of like telling people to do things and then me not feel like it really damages your integrity. And that's why like one of the things I'm working on is like, I don't want to just inspire other people. I want to inspire amongst other people what I also need to inspire myself. I want to inspire others, but in the process, I need to inspire myself because in my life, when I've been the most inspired, when I've been the most in flow, is whenever I help the most other people get in flow. You can't help someone become something you're not. You can't be a basketball player and help a kid become a basketball player unless you've played basketball. It's the exact same thing. I always use that analogy because it just seems so practical to me, like the way it resonates with my mind. It's the exact same way, like you can't help those who you have not first also help yourself with that thing. And like that's my new wave of like over the last year and over the next my lifetime is what I would tell other people. Because this is the thing for us in our phase of life now, and I saw this on Tristan's story earlier, is in life it's not right now for us anymore about we don't know the right things. It's about we don't know what to do with the things we know.
100%. It's like there's so many people that are way wealthier than us that we know who know so much less than us about marketing, about business. Like
there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Like people who work way less hard, who know way less stuff, but they just implemented.
They just beat us.
They just beat us.
It's not about how much you know. Once again,
it's not. No, it's not.
What you do
it's
is
what
what
you
you
do. No, it's what you do. Sometimes people don't even know what the heck they're doing. So no matter how much you know, it doesn't really even matter.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day with someone.
But like some women, like they make so much money and they don't even know what they're doing. They're just doing something that's working. They don't know why it's working. It's just working. But like so many people, they learn, like including us, like we'll learn for so much stuff. We'll study this. We'll study this.
You know, I've learned everything's a contradiction, bro. Everything like you need to learn more, but also like
learn less.
Like it's like everything in life I've learned. You need to work harder, but also
it's
not hard.
You need to do more. You need to do more, but less.
Yeah, every time.
You need to do less, but more.
It's these two polars pulling on each other, and it's learning to balance that. Life is complex. The reason why I think if you meet billionaires, watch this, ready? The reason why I think you meet billionaires and they usually are the most in flow is because they've learned to handle the complex world, not by being logical, because we don't live in a logical world. Like, all these opposing thoughts, they contradict each other. There can be two groups of people that are right, yet disagree on the same topic, but each of them are right from their own side.
Back to the whole thing.
It's a polar opposite. So these billionaires in flow, these high-level people, they're in flow because they're not operating just logically, they're operating with the complexity of life rather than fighting against it. They're not just making it happen. Millionaires make it happen. Billionaires let it happen. It's flow over force. People are constantly trying to force through the complexity of life and try to figure it out. You're never gonna have life figured out, but you can flow it out. You can go through life with a flow that I believe dances.
Then it goes back to contradiction again. It's like letting it happen, but also making it happen. It's like this big. That in itself is a contradiction. Like everything, and if you really.
But those who really flow. Make it happen. You feel me?
If you were actually flow, is make it happen.
The people who you look at athletes. You look at all these people who they're in flow, dude. Like they're operating. You know what I mean? They're making it happen, but they're making it happen out of a place of letting it happen. They're forcing things to happen you could never believe, doing stuff you could never imagine. But it's not just that they're forcing; it's that they're flowing, and the way they're flowing is forcing things to happen.
100%.
My guy.
Hey bro, can you turn on the AC by the way?
Yeah, you feel that too?
100.
I was thinking that when it comes to like filming, what I found for me, dude.
I like it cold.
I like it cold.
I get Tony, bro.
You know what I mean? Just trying to understand Tony.
Makes sense, bro. I get it.
Dude.
Hey, if I'm jumping on stage for 14 hours, that better be cold.
It better be. Bro, this was some great sound bites so far.
Dude, fire.
Like this, I'm gonna upload that podcast, bro. We didn't say anything.
Really?
It can't be. Yeah.
100%.
Like it's gonna be the Apex podcast. Like inside the minds of Caleb and Ryan. Bro, that's what we need to do. It's usually like Apex podcast episode 1. If you can blow some stuff up because it's so valuable, you didn't even need clickbait. Think about that. What if we don't even need clickbait? What if each episode doesn't even need a title? It's just episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and people just listen because they want to know how we think. You know what I mean? Because like, here's what we're doing. We're trying to force people to listen to us based off of what we say, when in reality people are only going to listen to us based off of how we think. So like doing something like this, I feel like it's just the way we think. I feel like it's going to resonate with
that, people. Or is the headline a reflection of how we think?
Yeah, but dude, like there's just always, you find people that really blow up, there's always this mystique. Always a little bit.
You want to know what Cody actually said to me yesterday? It was really one of the smartest
things
Cody
knows, so ask him.
But I'm like, dude, why do people buy from you so much? Even though you only have 35,000 followers. They're not like crazy, like engaged, but like why are your followers like he gets stalkers, like a lot of stalkers.
Really?
A lot, like people who find out where his parents live and like creepy shit and send your message like creepy amounts of like stalkers, like celebrity style stalkers. I'm like, you're not even big. Like what the hell? Like how?
You know, I feel like Cody has a more engaged audience than me.
Yeah, he does. And I'm just blatantly honest. And you want to know what I said? He's like, I'll quote Cody. Oh, these like they post too much, bro. Like I just like whenever I'm like with my friends and living my life, bro. I'm not trying to live a lifestyle. I just post a lifestyle and like I don't give a fuck at all. Like I'll be on the thing and I'll just be like playing like a video game and just like fucking around and I'll be like or like I'll be in Hayden's videos and then they're talking about Shopify, all these techniques, and I'm like, I'm trying to make my first $5 a day on Shopify, guys. I just fuck around and like I don't take anything seriously, and then people like fuck with me because of that. And I don't post.
Dude, it's true though, because you would think, but that's not right for marketing. But dude, truth is, what is marketing?
Rare.
Connecting with humans, bro. No, catch it. Connecting with humans.
100%. But also,
so what do humans connect with though? They connect with real people.
But also think about this.
Being a real person creates real followers.
100%.
I believe one of the reasons that my following is hurt. Well, first of all, it's my own lack of consistency. But the real reason my following is hurt is because I was trying. I had this phase in my life from like 13 to like 14, 15-ish, where I was so focused, I was so fiery, I was so passionate, I was on such a high from all the things my dad taught me, and I was didn't even really know what I was doing, but I was just out there trying stuff and doing stuff, and there was this raw part of me, and it was very passionate and intense, and that's who I was, and that did a lot of great things. It reached a lot of people, 40 million plus people on the video, right? Like, it reached a lot of people, but the truth is, I stopped posting as much, which had my following start to hurt. What happened is, my ego got damaged, because I'm like, dude, my following isn't where it needs to be. Like, people look at Cody, like, he's not even being strategic, and he has better, more engaged followers than me. So I tried to go back to how I was, even though I wasn't that person anymore. I was a different vibe, a different energy. I had grown so much, I had learned so much, I had had so many experiences that I was a different me, and I kept trying to revert back to the me that was before, and I tried to be that person, and that comes across fake because that's not who I am anymore. And I thought because it was what worked, it's what should work now, but that's not how life works. It's a flow. I was trying to force it to happen. And that's why, because I started becoming more fake, and I was still me, but a fake version of me, because it was a previous version of me. I was still me. I could justify it as me being authentic.
Like you wanted to be the version of you that got 40 million views.
But it was me though, right? I did the 40 million views, so who I am should be the past, right? But it's not. I've changed so much. So now it's like with this new age, I'm just gonna be upfront with people. Be like, dude, like straight up, I'm hurt at my following. Like I go live on Caleb Max Live, and there's like 30 people on. Bro, I was having 30 people on when I was like 12, bro. You know what I mean? Like, for me, dude, that stuff's real, and I feel like until I can actually connect with people and stop being this previous me, I'm never gonna have the future me, which is gonna smash the previous me. You know? So, like, I feel people relate with real because it's real, dude. You know, like, it's like this, like, what would you rather watch? A shark movie from now, or, like, a shark movie from way back then? Purely from a cinematic standpoint, which one would you want to watch? Now, right? It's not that those weren't good back then, it's just that now it's such a clearer picture. You can see more, you know what I mean?
100%. Also, I think it goes back to rarity. Like the people who create content, like celebrities don't like create content. Like they're not like on.
That's what Charlie said.
Like they're not on Instagram. Like, how do I create good content? They're like mapping it out. And they're just celebrities, and they just post whatever the hell they want to post.
Yeah, we were talking to Charlie this weekend at Thrive. Charlie Jabley, is that how you say his last name, right? Charlie's a beast. Charlie Rocket, the man with a plan. He's been a Nike athlete for a while now. And that's what he's telling me. He's a man with a vision, bro.
Not a plan.
You can feel his vision too, actually. But we were talking to him, and that's one thing he told us. A lot of it was the whole me embracing my flaws, which is something I really want to like make sure to work on. Because I know I'm a plastic version of me. I'm great, but I'm not showing off my greatness. You know what I mean? But anyway, Charlie told us that he was like, celebrities don't create content; they just document content whenever they have something to say. He's basically saying like
he said when celebrities speak, people listen.
People listen because they only speak when they have something to say.
Exactly.
But a lot of people speak because they think they need to be putting out content.
Like even look at Cody, for example. He's a great example. Like he doesn't put any effort into social, none. But guess what? He rarely posts, dude. It's rare. Like he'll just drop off the face of the earth for 3 months and then post a dope picture, and then he'll drop off the face of the earth for a few months and then start filming some videos. Like do like a couple of like stories about how like his YouTube's doing. And he'll disappear, and it's like he's just this mysterious dude who's not trying to have a brand. He's not trying to have a brand. He's just being him, and it's a super attractive character.
Right for this? Having a brand is out. It's no longer in, bro. Newsflash to all the influencers out there. Having a brand is no longer a real thing. People always try to put on a brand. Brand by nature is now exactly what people don't want to associate with because they're so used to being.
It feels people hate fake.
Brands.
Here's the thing. People hate fake, and I feel like brands with the like times day to post and this and quote
so
like,
strategic.
It's so strategic that like it doesn't feel real. Like no celebrity would ever do that.
Because it's not real. All these content creators that are trying to be like celebrities, think about it. A celebrity would never have a social media post. I've always thought that. How does Ariana Grande look at her social media strategy? It's like, dude,
that's why it
not
works.
But that's why she has 120 million. When most of these people are the experts of Instagram and only have 1 million, 3 million, even 7.
If you're talking about a lucky one who bought a lot of followers.
100%, and that's the thing. Or there's some that are real, but dude, that's only going to get so far. And really, what do they show for
But
it?
did they blow up now or did they blow up a few years ago?
That, and what do they have to show for it, though? You know what I mean? Like, what audience do you really have? So, it's like Andy said to us, and we were with Andy Frisella, too, this weekend in Vegas, and we interviewed him, and I got to sit down with him and have a conversation. One thing he said to me is, he said, create such a good audience that you could fall off the face of the earth for 6 months and come back and people would still be engaged.
I feel like there's too much effort. Like, it's just like, even like with what we're doing with social media, like what you're doing with social media, now that I'm thinking about it, like, it's so strategic, there's no way people can't feel the fakeness, even if they don't logically, even if they don't constantly feel it. Subconsciously, they know. Like when you go live and you're in the middle of your day and you don't have time to go live, and it's like,
Whoa.
Like,
I just realized, whenever I first blew up on social media, I never had a social media plan.
That's my
Yo, catch that.
That's
No. Think that through. Whenever I blew up on social media, I didn't have a social media plan. You know, I told people I post every day. I posted most days. Truth is, I post whenever I really felt something. And at that time in my life, I was so fired up constantly.
You just were posting all the
time. I was just posting all the time because I had so much to say. But same thing now. I have a lot to say, but it's so strategic that I can't operate within flow in moments.
It's like
where there's really something to be said. The moments where there's something to be said, I transcribe, I write it down, and later on, whenever what I just said is not what I'm saying, but it's what I'm trying to say, I say it later on film.
Not when you feel it.
Not when I feel it. I used to be like, Dad, okay, I was telling something, like, Dad, I'm in the airport, boom, film, boom. There was no strategy, there was no, there's no strategic
and it's like,
value.
like, that doesn't change, but like, it's the subtle things that make the biggest difference. The 1% shifts that make the 1,000% increases, right? And it's like, I feel like everyone's shifting to that strategized social media plan. Like, even for me, like, people that I used to find kind of entertaining, especially when I was starting out, and obviously I've grown as a person, so it's different. But like, even like, for example, Gary Vee, this is just my personal opinion, like, it's so strategical and you can so tell it's a team doing this content, it just doesn't interest me at all anymore. Before it felt like raw and real, and I'm like, oh, Gary's posting a video. And it was when I was first starting, so again, I was in a different frame of mind for sure. But at the same time, it feels so planned now. Like, I don't even look at it like, oh, this is just a team posting something. Like,
and I think Gary wins because back then that was the move.
100%.
Being strategic because it's like maybe a TV show, etc.
It's even more strategic now than it used to be.
But he just gained so much momentum that it's rolling, dude.
And it'll keep rolling.
Yeah, 100%.
100,000%.
And like he can stick with that now because that's what got him here. But for most people trying to get there,
100%.
it's not gonna always be that strategic. Because dude, even Gary, like people are like, you know, how do I blow up on social media? He's like, put out a good piece of content. One piece of content will change your life. Why? Because he knows one piece of content is how you get there. Not 10,000 pieces of content over a year that are strategically edited. One piece of content. What you need to do is put out a lot of pieces of content. Come to think of the way that Gary Vee describes social media is actually very like that. He just comes across a different way on Instagram because he's got such a big team doing it now, and they're editing and like he has a full-on TV production. But how is anybody who doesn't have a full-on TV production going to replicate those
I feel like
results?
he has much better production than he used to, right?
Yeah.
But I personally was more intrigued.
You know what my favorite days were? The laptop days with Gary Vee. But that's for me. For the average person, it's going to be a little different. But for us,
most entertaining.
That's why this podcast to me is so much better. Because like I was thinking I'm going to come in here and I'm going to like look at the camera and I'm going to be like, what's up, Maddix? Welcome. You know what I mean? I was going to go through my whole thing and say something good. Dude, I got to the place, and this is what I just had a massive epiphany. Wow, dude, this is a powerful conversation. Bro, this is taking me back to like whenever I first started, bro. Back then, dude, it was just so real and so just like came out of me. It was never forced. In the last few years, like last year and a half, 2 years, it's felt so forced, dude. I literally started to hate filming because it was so me trying to be who I was.
You're like, all right, ready?
This is powerful, dude.
Go.
This is some real stuff. This is something I would not have shared with people a month ago, bro. Like I'm really thinking about this deeply. Because, dude, I always had to have this facade because guess what? People call me the viral sensation, but boom, Caleb hasn't gone viral in a year. So I'd have to like keep the facade of the viral Caleb in order to be. But dude, Caleb was Caleb the entire time, whether I was 8 years old all the way till now. And it's like back then it was just film, post, film, post. Even if I edited it, it was like film. What am I gonna edit? And I was creative, boom, boom, boom. And I dropped stuff, and it was innovating. I was always ahead of the curve. Even like before Gary Vee did the square video stuff, like I was doing that. Like I was so innovative.
You wanna know what my ads did the best whenever I ran ads?
What's that?
Like, ads actually, when I was running all Dean's ads, right? Like, towards the end, it was super structured. Like, we're gonna film this ad, and like there was like a structure for the ads, and the video team knew to do this standard operating procedure, and this standard operating procedure, and then it get posted. And none of the ads took off like they used to. In the old days, bro, like when I first started, and we were just like crushing it. Like when I went from never spending a dime on Facebook to generating $250,000 a week in front end sales, just from scratch within like a month. It was purely because I would come up with an ad idea. I'd be like, let's film it today. I'd get the whole video team in one spot. I'd be filming it and be like, let's do this. It would happen. Like I'd be there, and then we'd edit the video, and I'd be like, oh, we're gonna do this, and this, and I'd work with the video team. I'd be in there with the video team, like, no, let's do this thing that wasn't a standard operating procedure or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just the creativeness, and then just we get it and we post it. And in the beginning, there was no approval process either. Like it got towards the end, obviously, when we got bigger, it was like you go through the lawyers, and you go through this, and you go through this, and it was just by the time you got to the end, it was just.
What's a procedure? It's like a surgery.
100%.
It's like a procedure. Think about it like
there's no great idea that cannot be ruined, that can't completely be destroyed by compromise.
That's true.
So like.
That's powerful. Where's that from?
I don't know actually. I know for a fact I read it somewhere, but I do not know where.
That's powerful.
Actually, no, I do. It's from a book called Wizard of Ads.
Wizard of Ads.
Wizard of Ads.
Dude, it's true though.
There's no idea too great to be completely destroyed by compromise.
That's the thing. People.
That's why like you can't lead by committee. Like there's so many like teams I think who like vote on stuff and like you end up getting a mediocre idea. It's like Steve Jobs didn't build Apple off committee.
Yeah. No, off of leadership.
He said this is the vision. People are like that's crazy. And he said we're doing it.
Do you think that's why kingdoms? Do you think that's why kingdoms ruled for so long?
100%.
Versus electing.
That is a totally uneducated statement that I said yes, but 100%.
Dude, like, let's. Me and you would be going back and forth. We'd be like, but you're trying to be politically correct.
100%.
Straight up though, from an uneducated standpoint, no, everyone else out there, everything we say, we do not believe. We're still trying to figure this thing called life out. But what would it be, bro? This is where we just unfold the curtain.
You first have to define what better means.
So define better. Better means what was best for the human people. So there's so many variables that go in.
Here's the thing. I think democracies.
That's all
I
really.
think democracies is a better model for humans. Purely because if you have one great king, you don't know if the next one's going to be an absolute terrible person that kills his people. Like having one person in charge, when that person just doesn't randomly gets there right by blood, is terrible because you can have like one bad dude who just messes up everybody's life. So democracy is better overall. However, I think kings can affect more change and stuff like that.
When it comes to president, though, like you would say, well, president's different. But one year you might elect a good one.
But the president doesn't have full control. You get a really, really bad president, and there's nothing he can really do to mess your life up that much.
With different control? You know what I mean?
Explain.
Like a kingdom where there's multiple control mechanisms. Same way we have like 3 different, but it's just instead of the president being elected, it's.
I think it's hard. I think elected is better though than king because like bloodline is bad in some ways because like you get a really great king, then you get a really.
But the initial founder of the country creates a system for every single king.
I think if there was some sort of like system that like picked people based off characteristics, not based off people's opinions, because people's opinions can easily be persuaded. Who wins the election is not based.
How does this stuff work?
Who wins the election is not based off who has better policy, who's a better leader. It's based off who's better at persuading the masses. Who can get people.
Which by the way, you know what it really is about? Marketing.
100%.
Think about that. Guess what, bro? 100%. Guess what they elect? The best marketers.
100%.
Bro,
they don't even know.
We could be elected president, no doubt.
100%. Think about this. The whole thing of becoming president is a game, right?
No, it's a. That's why Trump won, in my opinion. Because Trump's really good at chess. Bro.
He's good at winning. He's good
at chess, bro. Even if it's not physical chess.
100%. But like, if there was some sort of system, and I have no clue what this would look like, but if there was what?
Trump initially played Monopoly because he's doing real estate. Yeah. Then he started playing chess, bro.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
This is what, once again, this is where we pull back the curtain. You know, people think it's wrong to talk about Trump. Truth is, he's a real human being.
He's our president.
He's our president. And like, don't agree.
I don't care who the president is. I don't care who the president is. I will respect them because they're the president of my country.
I agree with that. Like that's a part of the.
Hillary Clinton was president.
100%. Same respect. Boom.
President of my country.
You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm always gonna agree.
Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm always gonna agree with Trump. Doesn't mean I'm always gonna agree with
our team's never gonna always agree with us. 100%. You know what I mean? But they're gonna show us respect for sure. But you know, meaning the reason we talk about Trump is because there's a lot to learn. The dude has patterns that have won in so many years.
A lot to learn what to do and what not to do.
A lot on both. Like, because not only has he had a lot of wins, but you gotta realize just because someone wins doesn't make them good. You know what I mean? It's like there's so much. It's crazy dynamic, and it's funny because we're 17, 19. We're just chopping up. We never have political conversations offline.
Never.
We really don't. We just talk about the future of humanity.
Because I think it's interesting. I don't like talking about things, especially like in public, that I'm not researching upon. And in politics, I just believe that I can affect so much more positive change in this world and in my life, and the people I care about's life, through focusing on my mission, the people I'm helping, my businesses, than focusing on politics. So I'm not educated enough on it to truly argue a case. However, I do have some thoughts on random stuff, just what opinions that pop up.
Yeah, same. But like every opinion we say, this is about people we're extremely open-minded.
I was gonna say, I'm so open to being changed. If someone says, hey, here's the facts, I'm like, totally cool.
I literally get excited. I'm like, wow. Literally, I just improve. My tool belt as a human being is better equipped because of your argument that Trump might.
100%. Here's one thing about democracies like that, like how our country works and stuff, that I think messes it up. People tie their identities to a political party. And for that reason, they'll agree with anything that political party says based off the fact that it's part of their identity. I'll meet people who, I'll ask them if they agree with this policy, and they don't even know what the policy is, but because it's a a liberal policy or a conservative policy, and they're conservative, they're like, yeah, I 100% agree with it. Even if they don't agree with it, because it's part of their identity. Like, people attach their identities to it. And because they have their identities attached to it, they can't argue. Like, people never come to conclusions when they argue politics. All they do is argue, and then one person's like, I won the debate, but both people still have the same opinion, so no one really won. And I think that's messed up, because it doesn't allow people to make the best decision. It only allows them to make a decision that's in line with their identity. So, for example, I don't have any political party in line with my identity, and for that reason, my mind can easily be changed on different subjects. Because I'm not by agreeing with you, I'm not shattering my own identity.
And the problem is, people with politics, they view it as two sides, when in reality there's a billion sides, 8 billion sides, and it's humans.
100%.
Every person has different sides, so why can't we just say, like, I have my side? You know what I mean?
100%. And here's the thing, regular people voting on politics, it's not that smart in my opinion. Like, only because of the fact that most people don't do the research. Most people don't get educated. They make their judgments purely based off uneducated opinions. The same way I'm making judgments right now, right? But like, when you go to vote, most people like I like this. That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Like,
it's really
weird. So the founding fathers actually, some of the founding fathers really didn't want the people to have power because of that same reason. They wanted only intelligent people to be able to do it. That's why we have the electoral.
Do you know of any that wanted that specifically?
I don't remember which of the founding fathers. Actually, I'd like to look it up. Benjamin Franklin, I think, wanted. No, actually, I'm not even gonna say. I don't know off the top of my head. But I know some of the founding fathers wanted people to have the power, and others like, no, we can't. Which is why I think that's why we have like the electoral college thing.
Yeah.
The people don't have full power. But it's really interesting the fact that we just give random people who aren't educated. Why do we not have to pass a test to vote?
You should easily have to do that.
What if someone can't read and they vote?
Ready?
What if someone?
It's literally because you were born. You've lived for 18 years. And you're a citizen, you can vote.
That doesn't make any sense.
Which I'm not going against it.
I'm not going against it
because like this is where you get like.
America rose to power faster than any kind of like thing in history.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying to be politically correct. I'm just saying it to not be
blatantly wrong,
blatantly ignorant. You know what I mean?
100%.
Because I really don't know, but I that's at least logically what comes to my mind is why are the people that are making decisions? It's like a board member. We're not gonna let people come on our board. Think about this though. Imagine we put everyone on our team as a board member and they all had equal power.
I want you to imagine this. Imagine we allowed people onto our team who didn't know anything about our company, had never worked for our company, had never done anything, and said, all right, where should we go? What's the direction we should go? And you gave them equal voting power to us.
Yeah.
Who've been running the company, who built the company, figure like it doesn't make any sense. But again, it's hard to decide who gets more power. Like it's a weird
electoral. And there's different pockets of power, but how would power be pocketed by location? Once again, these are things I don't know. But dude, you took that deep, and that's true. It's not just even saying that, like taking someone on your team that knows nothing about your company. It's literally like you said, taking someone on your team that knows nothing about your company and saying, run it. Like tell us where to go.
100%.
What's the direction?
I like the idea of meritocracies, which is like voting, but based off of who like different votes have more value than others, right?
But then that's where you get out of human equality and stuff. It's like, well, how do you judge it? How do you judge who's more? Who's to say that we might not be low on the spectrum of being able to vote? You know,
we might be honestly.
How do you calculate that?
You know, it's funny. We never talk about politics, but here we is. In the
we literally never talk about politics.
When's the last time we talked about politics?
You know what? Once again, my mind wanders there, and I'm tired of playing in this box of what brand I think I have.
100%. I feel like you should just speak.
Dude, like I watch Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan.
He'll just say the dumbest.
Shapiro.
He'll say the dumbest stuff. Guess what? He can get away with it because he's just being real. Everyone says dumb stuff.
You know why? You know why Joe Rogan can get away with it? Because it's who he is, man. And if you look at him and say, you're wrong, guess what he does? Man, show me evidence. And then say, show evidence?
Shoot, I was wrong.
Right? And then he goes on the podcast, guys, and the next guest comes on and they debate a topic, and guess what he goes? And he debates on the side that he just debated against previous because he learned something new. You know what I mean? He's constantly improving. He's not one way he even says people actually get confused and they don't know if he's on the left or on the right or where he's at. All they know about him is he's him and he has beliefs and he's willing to have those beliefs adjusted. And I think that's the problem with most people, is it's not that they don't have the right beliefs, it's that they're not willing to change their beliefs.
People are so stuck in their beliefs.
Have you really?
They can't actually break through and think. Here's the thing, most people can't think of new ideas because they have just beliefs about who they are. Well, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. I argue for things I don't believe in all the time just to try to see the other side and understand the other's perspective.
It's where you meet a high level person that's not moldable, that's not constantly shifting.
Think about this.
Look at even marriages, real quick. Look at even marriages. Look at the best marriages. They're the ones who are most willing to go back on their beliefs. Not because they don't have a firm belief in their beliefs, but because they realize if they're too firm, it's gonna snap because it's gonna create tension.
So my parents, when they first got married, they started going to marriage counseling before they ever had any problems.
That's so cool.
Both of their parents didn't have good relationships, and they want to have a good relationship. And like they'll like talk about stuff they're so open to being wrong like all the time. Whenever the other person has a different opinion,
to a crazy extent,
like they're openly cool with being wrong. Like they're just totally okay with being wrong, and it works really. I never seen my parents in the entire time I've lived with my parents for 18 years. I saw them get in a fight maybe 2-3 times. When I say fight, I mean most people's households wouldn't even consider that a bickering argument. Like,
you want to know one of the number one things I think we need to focus on? I actually had this epiphany the other day, and I was actually watching Joe Rogan, because I love watching Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson,
awesome.
Ben Shapiro, all these people with these beliefs. But one of the number one things Joe Rogan was talking about we need to instill in people is an ability to not be offended.
I agree with that.
When it comes to Apex, what we're teaching these kids, if we can instill a nation, a world, a race, a species, if we can instill the human species a trait to not be able to get offended, how much better would the world be? If we just gave it that one tweak,
I would
give every human that one trait.
Think of every great idea that was never said out of a fear of offending somebody.
Think about how every great moment, every great experience, people do so much not to offend other people because they know themselves they would get offended, that they get offended. If you don't get offended by people, it's hard to be afraid of offending people. But the people who get afraid that they're going to offend someone, they're usually very offensive and defensive towards new ideas, new concepts. So when it comes to high level of any nature that we've been around, dude, they're always, whether it be high level in business, high level in relationships, high level in fulfillment, high level in being a monk and being crazy enlightened, whatever it is across the spectrum, musicians, they have a way of not being offended by other people and being very open and moldable. Because the truth is, unless you're willing to be molded, you'll never be molded into the person you want to be. So the reason why a lot of these people we look at and they're like, wow, look at this sculpture, look at who they are, look at what they exude, look at the person that they've become. We look at this sculpture and we sit there and say, how are they looking like how are they how are they so perfectly sculpted in the way they think and who they are? The reason why is they were willing to be moldable. You cannot mold something that's not willing to be molded.
Think about this. Who are the most moldable people ever?
The most happy, like,
most
monks.
moldable. Kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true.
Kids are
I was gonna say monks because they're so like,
chill. Yeah.
Like study on that.
But kids are the most moldable, right? And if you think about it, they learn the most. So if you can just be moldable as an adult, you'll learn the most. You'll progress the fast. Kids progress faster than anybody, right?
Even like Anthony earlier, he was moldable at that moment.
When you're willing to be moldable is when you grow. And most people, once they create their identity, shifting out of their identity, even for a second, even for one belief, even for one thought, even for one moment, is so painful that they never grow.
We need to make one of our values as a team, moldability.
Yeah, be willing to be wrong.
Moldability, I like that, moldability.
Moldability.
The way to increase your abilities is to be moldable. You must have moldability if you want better abilities. That's true too, because dude, the only reason we've been able to do certain things is because, like, look at you with like Frank Kern initially mentoring you
100%.
when it comes to copywriting. You were so willing to be molded.
Dude, anything he said I was wrong, I'm like, yeah, I'm wrong. 100%.
Any chip he made, you chipped away. You got rid of. And you were willing to become something.
Could you carve a statue out of a rock that you cannot chip away at?
No.
Like, how is it any different for us?
Yeah.
Like, we should never get to a point where we have beliefs. We should have beliefs that we
Theories.
question. We should have theories, right?
Even scientific facts aren't
Our theories.
facts. They're just theories.
They're
They're just really, really proven theories.
Like, you can't just, there's no way to disprove the theory because it's so close to a fact. There's no such thing as a fact.
But
does reality exist in and of itself?
We can discover something down the road, completely goes back on it. There were facts back then that aren't
what
facts
if
now.
once every 100 billion years, every law of gravity shifts? Like, we don't know. Obviously, that's so unrealistic, but like, everything you're right, it's 100% just a theory.
So you must be moldable if you ever, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the realest thing, bro. Like, let's talk about Anthony real quick. Because earlier Anthony, he even told me the other day, he was like, I want to grow. Like, I want to grow. You know, I don't feel like I'm growing to the fullest extent.
That's what happens when you get past 18, man.
Yeah, bro. He's not 18 though. Yeah. He's
shoot, you got some time, bro.
Yeah, my man, he went. But he came to us wanting growth. That's for step one. You gotta want growth. But then he was like, even when it comes to people skills, etc. He's been asking us. So we said, okay, dude, you want to grow? It's very simple. You gotta stretch. You're never gonna stretch and grow unless you stretch and grow yourself. And the way to grow is through death. Through literally killing off parts of you. People think the way to add to your life is adding new traits. Real truth is, key to really adding to your life is taking away traits. It's subtracting the things and taking away. It's molding away. Whenever you carve a statue, usually you don't add on to it. Usually what you do is you chip away at it. It's the exact same thing. Really if you want to be a statue that's looked at amongst history, that you Google world famous statues and you pop up on there just for how good of a person you are and who you mold yourself to be, you must be willing to chip, and you're never going to become the statue you need to be unless you're willing to chip. And everyone's trying to add stuff on, and they're looking at the statue and they don't like who they are and how they act, and they just keep trying to add on stuff. They add on icing. It's like, dude, icing don't go on statues. You know what I mean? They're constantly trying to add stuff onto who they are. Real truth is you need to take away who you are. Successful people aren't just what they do, they really are what they don't do. The sacrifices they do make, and that's us recently. It's not that we haven't been doing the right things, it's that to our fullest extent, we have not been subtracting enough from ourselves and chipping away. The times of our life we chipped away, that's when perfection starts.
You're 100% right, because every time we've struggled lately with something inside of business, outside of business, really everything inside of business is just personal problems reflecting themselves in business, in my opinion. But like, it's always like, what can I do differently in terms of adding? What can I do this? Can I add this? Can I add this? And you're 100% right. Like no great sculpture was ever, no great sculpture. You know what I'm trying to say? Statue. Thank you. Was ever made by adding stuff on. It's all made by chipping away. The greatest stuff, the stuff made by like all the legends, was made by chipping away at marble, right?
Yeah.
And if we want to be like the pinnacle of statues as human beings, like reach our apex, it's got to be chipping away constantly.
So come back to Anthony. This is where we come back to Anthony, right? Anthony was he wanted to grow, which is a first sign of moldability. And we said, dude, if you want to, you're gonna have to be pushed out of your comfort zone. You can't go to places you've never been unless you're willing to go places that you've never been before. Whenever I first started off massively shy, you can talk about this too because you had this exact same thing, not where you were necessarily massively shy, but how you became the person you are. But whenever I was young and shy and insecure, my dad would make me go up and dude, I remember this stuff. He would make me go up to people and I was scared out of my mind. My heart would literally start like pounding. Now I can talk to a whole group of people. I'm going to be doing public speaking. You guys are really going to see how far I'm going to go with my confidence. But for me, he pushed me out of my comfort zone. So we're like, same thing with Anthony. Anthony, if you want to grow, you're going to have to grow. And we're going to have to, and we literally tonight, we had him go up to random strangers and do weird things.
We made Anthony, so we called the restaurant because we wanted food.
Yeah.
And we made him get out of the car. We drove to the restaurant. We made him get out of the car and go in and talk to the person who was talking on the phone, not order food, and just have a conversation with them, get their Instagram, and become friends with them. And he did.
To most people, dude, that is an insane deal to be able to do that.
100%. Like there was no logical reason for that.
Yeah.
Other than the fact
even we go through Wendy's. Sorry, we went through Wendy's, guys, but we went through Wendy's and we had him get outside of the car, order for all of us, have a full-blown conversation, communicate, ask questions, etc.
Go over, talk to the car behind us. In the line.
He did that on his own, though. We didn't even tell him to do that one. He just did it, right? And then when it comes to the door where you get the food, he sat outside, shook the dude's hand, had a full-blown conversation, leaned out the car like a straight G.
He got us some free chicken nuggets.
And he got us free chicken nuggets. So think about it, in a night, 10x confidence difference. Like,
and
massive.
How do you think about this? Most people are afraid to talk to people. Most people are afraid to talk to strangers. Anthony goes out and he goes out of the drive-thru, he walks into a restaurant, talks to the manager just to have a conversation, walks out, gets his Instagram, becomes friends.
After, by the way, I just talked to the dude and I made it kind of weird.
Yeah, and on the phone, Caleb made it really weird so that when he walked in, it'd be super uncomfortable. Sorry, Anthony. But like, being pushed outside of your comfort zone is what, like, it makes you grow. Because when you do really scary things, all of a sudden normal things just don't sound scary. Right?
That's it, it's raising the bar. It's setting standards. For me, my life growing up, what I look at, my standards were extremely high for my age. Granted, I don't believe they've been high enough over the last year at all. But at 14, I had pretty high standards compared to most 14-year-olds. Could they have been higher? 100%. But I had high. And I got crazy results in what you can imagine. Because my bar was set so high, failure. A lot of people are trying to raise their bar of how much they want to succeed. You need to raise your bar of how much you're willing to fail.
Yeah.
How far are you willing to fail?
How much
what?
Are you willing to
like literally, people are always like, what can I accomplish? Truth is like, what are you willing to not accomplish?
Yeah.
How far are you willing to be able to go and maybe even fail? But how far are you willing to go there? You know what I mean? So like, if your bar's set higher, that raises the bar of failure. You need to raise your bar of failure. You're willing to drop it more, but you're going to grow 10 times more.
You know how you say you hit your arm, right? You hit your nerves enough times, your nerves will eventually die and break and you won't feel anything anymore, right? Which is not a good thing to do. Don't recommend it.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same thing with like your comfort zone, right? The more you just bang at it over and over and over again, you become numb to it. Here's the thing, the thing that stops most people from doing what they want to do is the comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're afraid to make the sales call. They're afraid to go do out a million job interviews. Like, that's people can't. My biggest pet peeve when people say I can't get a job. In my head, I flip out. You want to know why? Because if you can't get a job, that means you didn't talk to the guy next to you, and the guy next to you, and the guy next. If you talk to 1,000 people and you have the worst closing rate in the entire world, you're gonna get a job.
100%.
You're just not talking to enough people, and the reason why? It's uncomfortable. Talking to strangers is uncomfortable. And like, my comfort zone is a lot, obviously it can be so much further, but it's really far because growing up, I always felt like I had a prison because I thought I was going to be like super successful and I didn't want to go to school and like everyone's like, you have to go to school to be successful. So for some reason I had like kind of like a chip on my shoulder and I'm like, I'm going to prove everyone wrong. And so I was constantly doing crazy stuff just to push myself out of my comfort zone. So like I'd be like, can I try to see if I can convince somebody at Starbucks to give me free drink? Can I like usually?
You really would. I would sell a penny for
$1.
$1.
Like I would go up to a stranger and try to see if I can sell a penny for $1, right?
Yeah, that was our first.
Remember my opening? I'm not gonna say it on this podcast. Remember my opening line for it?
Dude, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Anyway, but like little stuff like that, and even as a little kid. So like when I didn't get paid really much of an allowance, my parents said, hey, do you want to make money to buy stuff? You gotta go sell stuff. So I do door to door. I'd be knocking on doors at like 8 years old selling stuff, right?
I think allowances are terrible, dude.
I do too.
Break it down real quick. You're allowing your kids a certain amount of money
for doing nothing.
For doing nothing.
And cleaning up the house is nothing.
That's nothing.
Like you're living in the house for free. That's your dues.
Yeah.
And if anything, you should be paying your parents' allowance. If you think.
My dad gave me an allowance, but it would be like insane things to do, insane accomplishments. You know what I mean? Like I'd get an allowance every once in a while whenever I'd make my all-star team. But like I wouldn't even want it because just making my all-star team alone was the bonus. You know what I mean? So the rest was a bonus. So like. That's everything in life. The people are the highest level, just had the highest standards, bro.
100,000.
You know what I mean? And they were willing, like, dude, you gotta make what most people view as crazy, it's gotta become numb to you. That's why people you find successful are usually freaks and crazy and insane, because there's a certain level of insanity it takes to jump bars and jump lines so much. You know what someone told us the other day? They kept saying, you're crossing the line, you're crossing the line. Truth is, dude, we gotta cross the line. No one. What's the line? In my opinion, it's the finish line. And the finish line, the finish line for most people is just the starting line for me. So I'm constantly trying to cross the line. Every single one, it's like the 100-meter dash I'm trying to cross, or a football field, I'm trying to cross the 10-yard line, then the 20-yard line, then the 30-yard line. I'm trying to cross lines and go beyond what most people think. I want to become numb to average. I want to be so different than most people that just the sheer conversation with the average person confuses me, and that's where we've gotten to.
Think about this. Here's how painful this can be. So many people struggle with finances, right? What is one of the highest paying jobs you can get? Sales, right?
Yeah.
No doubt, sales. Why does no one do sales when they're struggling with finances? They can't pick up the phone and call people. Like it takes seven no's to get a yes on average, right? With one individual person. I gotta ask you 7 times before you say yes. 7 to 12 times before you say yes. And it's like, people can't do that because asking someone 12 times, persistence is painful, right? Like persistence is like what gets you success, and persistence is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Super uncomfortable. It's painful.
But it hurts in perspective.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you're doing public speaking,
dude, like, it's all perspective. People have endured
pain.
People always like, I don't know if I can do that, Kill.
People fight to it.
There's someone who's the exact same species as you that has done something literally 250,000 times harder than whatever you're afraid to do. And yet you can't do this thing. I have to put in perspective. I can't give this speech in front of a crowd. There's some kid in a children's hospital right now. That's hard. Going through chemotherapy. Like think about the parents' struggle. What they're watching their kid go through.
Think about gladiators, bro. They had to fight bears and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can go there too. And that's true. Like literally, they had to fight. There's humans. We come from survivors, bro. We come from...
We're bad. Humans are bad.
You just hit me. We
win.
come from
We
a species,
win.
bro. We literally have taken over the entire planet.
Oh my god, I'm proud to be a human.
That's exactly how I feel.
I could have been a dog. Anthony, I could have been a dog, bro. I would have been cute. I mean, I'm already cute, but like, I would have been a dog. That would have been
Thank you,
terrible.
Ryan is single.
I am single.
This is what we use the Apex podcast for. It's a lead man.
It's a lead generation.
Lead generation. but dude, that's powerful actually. And it's true. Like, to be a human is the greatest thing on earth. Yet so many of us, dude, we literally live like lemurs. Lemurs do more than what most humans do. We have so much potential. We have the potential to build buildings, to create things, to create a device that we can reach someone all the way across the country. Try to get a normal species, like some other animal, to get a device, a physical device you can move around and literally send a signal all the way across the world. Nope, not even. All the way up into space. Send a rover all the way to Mars. And it's impossible for you to go up to that girl you like.
You know what's funny?
Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
Like, take that heat, bro.
You ever think about
Like, bro, like people, humans are great, dude. But people don't do anything with it.
You know what's funny?
Humans, you know what it is? It's what it's like. Being a human is the greatest vehicle you'll ever be granted. People are constantly looking for Lambos and Teslas. You know what the coolest vehicle? To me, it's a human. Think about all the things a human can do. Tesla can't start a business. It may be able to reverse drive and have a nice camera, be able to auto drive and go through all these things. It might have that stuff, but it's not the same vehicle as a human. Yet people use this vehicle of a human, throw it in the garage and never use it. In fact, they never even tell people that they have it. In fact, they don't even know they have it. It's to be like your grandpa awarding you a white Corvette because you love those so much, and you never knowing it until you become 60 years old.
And then when you find
Think
out,
about that.
you die.
The greatest vehicle. We have the greatest vehicle. And that's what gives me hope about Apex. That's what gives me hope about the
Oh my God, I
human
just
race,
realized
is
something.
that we are human.
I just realized something. Being a human is like having millions and billions of dollars worth of gold buried in your backyard, and most people never even know.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Holy crap.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, bro, people, this is why the goal of the Apex podcast is
Dude, did
to
you know in
awaken.
your backyard you got like at least $100 billion worth of gold? Did you know that, bro?
I haven't looked.
You know where the backyard's at, bro? Turn your head inside out, look at your brain, bro. That's where it's at, dog. That's at least, think about it, because why? How much gold did you say?
At least $100 billion. Minimum.
Hey, Jeff Bezos is worth $100 billion. You know why? He has
dug.
the vehicle of being a human.
Dug.
He dug, bro.
Inside his own mind.
You gotta go. Dude, we haven't dug in deep enough, bro. Think about it. We have a goal. I'm literally, it's hitting me. Like, our goal is to take the greatest species alive and bring us back to congruency. Bring us, maybe for the first time ever, bring us to congruency.
100% for the first time.
And we can do it,
100%
and we can do it, and we will do it. But bro, we're not digging deep enough. Jeff Bezos digged in the backyard and had $100 billion of gold. Bro, we have to dig to Earth's core.
I want you to think about this. Jeff Bezos digged in his own mind and produced $100 billion, right? Actually, more than that. How big is Amazon? It's worth like $1 trillion now.
Yeah.
Grows $1
trillion
trillion,
asset,
right? $1 trillion. Imagine if we dig inside the mind, we go to the deepest depths of every human. What would our world look like? Like, think about it. Inside of every single mind.
If every single human went as deep as Bezos, as he did with finances, and they went as deep to whatever their mission is.
Jeff Bezos says he wants to have people on all different planets, right? Like that's we have 100 trillion people or whatever, so that there's 1,000 Einsteins and 1,000 Da Vinci's and 1,000 Jeff Bezoses, right? Imagine if we just optimize humans rather than trying to that's like having the most unoptimized machine. Like let's just build a lot of these machines, or it's like let's just optimize the one we already have. Imagine if every single human unleashed their greatness. Now that's a really hard thing to do, but when you do it, everything changes. Imagine every person was as great as Jeff Bezos in their own way. If every person was as great as Einstein in their own way. Imagine if every icon you've ever heard of in your entire life was every person you ever met. And the icons of the next generation were something we can't even fathom.
Think about this though too. It's like Steve Jobs says, whenever he says his goal of life was, the moment he decided that he wanted to start Apple, was whenever he discovered that that humans weren't even close to the fastest species. He started looking at all these species and how fast they went, how fast they can go. These different, even what's the rabbit called? You know what I'm talking about? There's a rabbit that goes super fast. No. It's like another name. It's like a different name, right? There's that. There's cheetahs. There's all these animals. But you know what? Humans aren't the fastest, but we are. Because he realized we've created planes, we've created bikes, we've created, cars. We've created all these things that go way faster than cheetahs because it was the tools. But you know what I want to say? Steve Jobs had on a mission. He said that we can speed up the human race by creating tools like we had before. We are speeding up the human race by focusing on the thing that created those tools, and that's the human mind. We are helping people equip themselves with the tool of the human mind. Imagine how many tools will happen. This is bigger than what Steve Jobs is working on. And right now, dude, Steve Jobs outdid us, bro. He's out-visioned us. He's out-hustled us. He's out-worked us. He's out-consistencies us. He's out-obsessed us. He's out-desired us. He's out-networked us, out-communicated us, outsold us, out-marketed us. He did everything. We have a mission literally 100 times bigger than what Jobs did. And we're not even playing 100 times on his level.
I want to think about this. This iPhone changed the world, right? The way we communicate. Obviously, there's other smartphones too. But this one tool, and it's created by minds. But imagine if we just took humans and we made them their automation. If this made everyday people who have the same lack of motivation.
We're not talking about creating a machine that integrates our mind. We're talking about the machine that is our mind. That is our mind.
100%.
And that's the mission of Apex, bro. It's to create the next evolution of the human mind where we have humans who are using their mind. You know what it starts with though, dude? How we can create 8 billion people to use their mind until we fully use ours.
Exactly. It's like again, the relationship coach who's never had a relationship before.
Yeah.
We can't be that.
So that's the goal for every single person listening to this podcast. And by the way, dude, this is the vibe. Doing a podcast like this, where we're not like looking at a camera.
Kelly would do this every day.
It's just a conversation, and dude, it's real. This is how, this. If the podcast wasn't on, I guarantee you there would maybe be
a little bit
of a difference between what we'd be saying. Just a little bit.
That's only because
might get a little whack. But to the extent of the conversations we have, this is it. This is just a conversation, and the message. I feel like there's so many messages for this podcast episode, but like that's the message for this episode. Is every single person listening to this is like. They're a part of the human species, and they are part of this mission. They're a part of this mission to help humans start using their minds to the fullest extent to create the next evolution of the human mind. Since they are a part of this mission, like we said, if we don't think the right way, how can we get 8 billion people to think the right way? If we're not fulfilled the same way, how can we
has greatness in them. Every single one has greatness in them. And it's like, how do we unlock that in everybody? But they're just scratching the surface.
No, check this out. Every human has greatness. I don't think one of them's used it yet.
100,000%.
Take that in though. How much more? You know what? Actually, I'm intrigued with this. Wow. Take this. The beginning of the human species. How much more efficient is our brain than it was in the beginning?
Wow.
Ready? It's just gonna keep growing, bro. How much more, even though kids may be more socially awkward, how much more intelligent do you think kids are nowadays by the time they're 20 versus 80-year-olds 400 years ago?
It's because here's the thing.
If we're talking straight
we're not starting from scratch. We're standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
And every generation, the giants get bigger and bigger.
People think like we're the founders of Apex, and we are. But the truth is, the human race is the founder of Apex. And we're just currently operating and piloting the vehicle that is the human race. That's it. We're not the leaders.
And here's the thing.
We're not the founders.
None of us, every single one of us has greatness.
Where's the current pilots?
But exactly. But it's not like we're special. Anyone could replace us. But like, well.
Because every human has greatness.
But every human has greatness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every human has greatness.
I love how you said, people who replace us, well. Do you think that this is where people find out about the ego side of us, because we
got ego.
Still have that. We're working towards that deeply. That's the thing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we're real people. I honestly want to get emotional because I feel like I'm actually talking to someone as if they're my friend. Like it's not a facade. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it because like, dude, like I need that. I'm tired of feeling like frosted. You know, like a glazed donut. You ever get because we had a lot of donuts in Vegas this weekend. Don't even talk about it, guys. But you know, like a glazed donut. You know, it gets real sticky on your hand. And it's like, it may be sweet a little bit, but like, it's
you know it's not good for you.
You know it's not good for
you. Know it's
That's how it was. Like this sticky facade that I felt like I had to keep. Now, but we can just be real. But dude, straight up, like, when it comes back to our ego, well, what I was saying before is, do you feel like there's two other people that could be the founders of Apex?
No, because let me explain. I have a really big ego in a weird way. Like, I believe I'm just the greatest human alive. But not in a way that I'm better than any other human. I just
we're going to soundbite that. It's going to be the cover of Times next
week.
Ryan Odonnell believes
he's the greatest human alive. But I don't believe any other human is less than me in any way. I just think their greatness is completely different than mine. So I think I'm the greatest in the world at being who I am.
But no one could be the founders of Apex because we are.
Exactly.
They're going to be the founders so much more.
It's a weird thought. That doesn't even make sense to me. It's like, of course they can't, because that's not who they are.
Yeah.
But I was like, Einstein couldn't be the founder of Apex. I can't be Einstein.
Yeah. That's the thing about humans, dude. No one can be one another.
That's why it's so powerful. Imagine what you think about this. Einstein had his greatness, right? Da Vinci had his greatness. Who else? Steve Jobs had his greatness. Right? All humans have their greatness. But like, think about just the icons for a minute, though, right?
Just pure icons.
Pure icons. They all have their greatnesses. But imagine if every human had their greatness. The odds are of two being exactly the same are ridiculous. But just think of the diversity of greatness in every aspect of life. Our world would be a crazy place.
Yeah.
That's a world I'd want to live in. Imagine every human you meet. Imagine every human you meet was Einstein. Every human you meet is Steve Jobs.
But they're Jeff.
They're Jeff.
Susie. Thomas. But they're Einstein.
Have you ever
Einstein's level of greatness, but Susie's level of who she is.
Exactly. exactly. Like her Susie's type of greatness.
I had that epiphany the other day in Vegas. We were walking through the strip, and I was just thinking to myself, humans are so diverse.
Oh.
Everything about their face.
Have you ever seen humans that look identical?
And it's like we're avatars. We're like a video game. You know, like you create like a Wii character. We're like avatars like that. Like we've like, I'm gonna wear this today. I'm gonna wear this. It's literally like we wake up and kind of play a game. We're like equipping and like I'm gonna have glasses. I'm gonna cut literally we choose our hairstyle. And like that seems like so weird. Like you're gonna choose your hair, but we do. We literally everything we are is what we choose to be. And everyone's so diverse. We all have different avatars of our characters. But the thing is, everyone's trying to play. And I love personal development. I do. But the thing I think is wrong with personal development is it's trying to fit.
It's trying to, you need to be like this.
It's trying to, not even that.
Deep.
It's trying to be like, you chose your avatar, and it does two things. It either says, you chose your avatar, you need to change your avatar, which by the way is good, because a lot of people do need to change their avatar. Or it says, you chose your avatar, now you need to have you need to follow the exact same path that this different avatar took, even though your game is completely different and completely more complex. Everyone's trying to beat each other, and we're all playing different games.
Dude,
think about that. No, take this though. Why are we trying to beat each other when we're all playing different games? Last time I checked, Serena Williams doesn't get mad whenever LeBron James wins the NBA Finals because they play two different sports. If we're all playing a different game, a different sport, then why are we not all collaborating and saying, how can we make you win? How can you win? Instead of trying to fit everyone in the game we're playing and saying you have to wear these exact shoes, it's like, why would I wear cleats whenever I'm an ice skater? Why would I wear different shoes just because I'm playing different sports? And that's how humans need to be. We need to be that we're all playing different games, we're all diverse, we all have our unique abilities, we all have our path that we're going for, the game that we're playing. It needs to be this collaboration of how can the collective human race win this game called life, and each individual with amongst the human race win their game of their life. Does that make sense? It's doing this whole thing of, it's this flywheel of that. How can we help people live their life? Because it's like birds, for example. You ever see a bird do a flock and they fly? It's this beautiful beauty of two different things. Number one, there's an entire group of birds flying in a pattern. Number two, there's individual birds all flying in a pattern. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean with humans. It's like, it needs to be this collective game that we're all flocking and playing and doing. But each
no one
individual bird is in a different place, but it makes up the whole. That's what the human race needs.
You hit something on the head that I never really understood why I felt this way, but I always had this like slight bit of cringe towards personal development. Not because woo-woo, not because no reason, right? Like no like logical reason to what you just said right now. Because like even with our curriculum, right? Our program changes more kids' lives than anyone I've ever seen in my entire life. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when we were talking about like we need a set curriculum, my gut was like my brain was like, yeah, logically we need a set curriculum. That way, every single person who teaches our course teaches a set curriculum. But something in my gut was like, it's off a little bit.
It's gotta be movable, moldable.
It's gotta be moldable.
You can't mold someone without being molded.
Exactly.
Every statue is different, yet every statue gets molded.
Exactly.
But if you molded a statue the exact same way every time, we'd have the exact same statue. What makes statues beautiful is the art part of it, not the production. The production of the statue isn't what's beautiful, it's the art behind it. The production of a human being and making them successful and giving them patterns of success isn't what's cool, it's each individual human success. And we can't mold them all the same way, because they would all be molded the same way. Then art goes away.
If we truly believe...
The beauty of the human race in life goes away. Go ahead.
If we truly believe every person has their own unique greatness, then why would we educate people all the same way?
Yeah.
Every single... Here's a concept. Aristotle for everyone, right? Aristotle was like a great mentor to... It was Alexander the Great? I think it was Alexander the Great. And he personally mentored him on what he needed, how he needed to be taught Alexander the Great. I think I'd be wrong on that, but he became the person he is. Right? And it's like, if we create a set curriculum for kids, don't get me wrong, it
won't work.
No, listen. It is 1 billion times better than what we currently have in our system. 1 billion.
Anything's better.
1 billion times better. We will get more kid results than anyone ever. But here's the thing. It's not catering to each kid's greatness.
It may help, but everyone becomes successful, but not everyone becomes fulfilled.
But here's the thing. But even
fulfilled isn't forced.
No, listen. It's more than that, because even if it works and they do become fulfilled, and they do become successful, they become a great person. They become a successful person, but they don't become the greatest version of them.
It takes away the beauty.
That's the goal. It takes away the beauty. I want it to be every kid is their own unique greatness, and it's unlocked in its own unique way. They're their own unique path, and that's why all these success courses and don't really work for people, because follow these paths, and it just doesn't work. And the people who do make money from it, I meet the people who follow all the courses and actually do make money. None of them are happy, because guess what? It was a path to make money, but it wasn't a path to unlock their greatness. Did Einstein take a course on how to become Einstein? Alexander the Great, no one took a one-step path and trying to follow a path, it doesn't work. What it needs to be is it needs to be like setting the initial condition. Like, I don't know what it looks like.
It's gotta be moldable, interactive, and dependent on the specific human.
It has to be like more than just recorded education. Because if it's recorded education, if it's recorded by definition, it's not moldable.
Yeah.
It's set in stone the moment it's recorded, and we can re-record it. We can record 1,000 versions. Guess what? We can record 1,000 versions of it, right? How many humans are there going to be in history? Billions.
It's you think 1,000? You know what it is? It's AI, bro. It's an interactive AI.
But that tells them what they need to. It's a mentor, like in a way.
AI, that's where it comes in.
But that really hit me because I couldn't figure out why the other day when we were talking about the curriculum, and I'm mapping out to the best of my ability. You're mapping out to the best of your ability. And in my head, I know this is going to change kids' lives more than any other program in the world by 1,000%, and I believe in it 1,000% more than any other thing I've ever believed in. But there's something in my head that was like, it's not enough. And I didn't know why, and it's because you're 100% right. Personal growth tries to take their character and put it in a box.
Right? Diversity is survival.
Dude, think about this. Stagnant water goes rotten, always, right? Stagnant water always spoils. And it's the same thing if we have a stagnant education system.
Even that's why I think Jeff Bezos talks about in his shareholder letters about natural selection with the beetles. You know, he talks about that. How if a green beetle is more prone to be eaten by X bird, and there's a blue beetle, it's going to be very likely that in 100 years there's only blue beetles. Because of the natural selection, right? The diversity is what keeps us alive. Even if you study throughout the history of life, the only reason there's been life is because of diversity. But the problem is the human race, we're trying to fit everyone in a box.
Why is the human race so successful? Diversity, right?
Yeah.
Natural selection. We're think how diverse we are. It makes sense.
We're stunting diversity.
The reason why our education system and our onboarding system,
wow.
The reason why it messes people up
is
it has a lack of diversity. It's stagnant water that's making everyone rotten.
Think about this.
It's infectious.
Yo, ready? Watch this though. Look at the two. I would say there's a few things that. There's two things that kill, for the most part. There's a lot of things, but the two deliberate things. It's either when someone kills another person, or someone kills himself. And the reason why that happens, the reason why there's death there, is usually because in some way they were stamped over and over. If you kill someone, you were ridged, you were beaten, you were bruised, you were molded and destroyed, and that's why you kill someone. The reason other people kill themselves is because they were so beaten down by the system and so pressed and so put into a box over and over and over again. But guess what? They didn't have any growth, therefore they died and ended up killing themselves. Humans throughout time, and really life in general, life only survives with diversity. The two reasons why humans die for the most part, undeliberately, is purely based off of a lack. It's because we've created a box for humans and expected humans for so long to live in this box. And how can you put humans inside of a box and not expect them to go crazy? Imagine I put you into a box in the closet and lock you in there for a day. You're gonna start to go crazy. Humans aren't meant to be in a box. They're meant to explore, create, be diverse. And the lack of diversity amongst humanity is one of the very biggest things that kills us. When in reality, that's what life comes down to, is diversity. And the reason why the human race is dying, and not just physical deaths, but I'm talking mental. Everyone seems dead.
People who are dying
the reason why
before they get buried.
We're not creating diversity in education. And the onboarding system for humans is not diverse. Therefore, we don't have a diverse culture. Therefore, we don't have diversity for the human race to thrive.
How often do you meet someone? Let me just give you a general number. A week, who you meet and you ask them about their life and what their greatest dreams are and what they want to do and what they're passionate about. Me, you and I, whoever we talk to, we ask those kind of questions. Right? Yeah. We just go deep way too fast with people.
Yeah.
But
really, really fast. Sometimes
how many would you say a week would literally say, I don't really know. I mean,
almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
It's so sad. And think about it. They have this spark of greatness inside of them, and it's still flickering in there somewhere, right? It's really dim. When as a kid, it was probably bright. And it's just
I say we see that at least 25 times a week.
Minimum. If we talk to 25 people.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
I would say 1 out of 5 people we talk to has a little bit of a dream, right? A little bit of something passion or something like that. And then 1 out of 10 is got something they want to do, but they just want to do it. It's so few, and it really comes back to one thing: is the education system.
But remember, celebrities, we shouldn't have celebrities because all a celebrity is a human that performs at an extremely high level. Being a celebrity should be normal.
That's what I'm saying.
Performing at a high level should be really a norm.
Why do we idolize? Why does no one realize that they have greatness? They're a human freaking being. Like, think about that. They are one of the greatest species that's ever walked the face of this earth, purely when you're talking about the capabilities, right? Like they have unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities. They live in the most impossible world you could ever imagine, and they're like, I don't know, I'm chilling. Like, it's a weird thought, and it really comes back to the fact that, like, we don't foster greatness. We create a system, like, when I say like a terrible system, I mean bad, like just this blocky system, and we hope that, like, literally they just go through it and become their greatest. Like, it just doesn't, that's not gonna work. The only way you're gonna have people at their greatest is if you have someone every step of the way fostering their greatest, have someone every step of the way helping them become their greatest, helping them see their greatness. And it's not like, oh, they need to learn confidence, then they need to learn how to talk to people, and then they need to learn this. And it's like, no. Like, that stuff will get people 10 times farther.
We were very interesting because we had that, but we also didn't. It was very like, we became who we are.
We became who we are and
forced to.
Here's the thing. 100%.
Even my dad, I had personal growth, but it wasn't just personal growth that changed my life as a kid. It was that I had danceable personal growth, meaning my dad, he didn't have some rigid curriculum. He just noticed things I struggled with, confidence, communicate, like whatever it might be.
You had Aristotle.
Yes. He noticed. I didn't have a book from Aristotle. I had Aristotle. And that's the problem. People keep trying to read books. It's like, you don't understand, it's not.
Here's the thing, especially when, like, you're trying to develop your characters, especially at a young age. I feel like if you just give kids all the fundamental books, again, it's blocky. It's not going to work. It needs to be personalized education. Education should not be like, well, here's what you need to learn. Like, if you go to a doctor and they don't prescribe what you're like doing, do they just give you a bunch of drugs before knowing what's wrong with you? No, they figure out what's wrong with you and they prescribe drugs that are going to help you. Right?
But imagine
prescribing education. Like, education should be the same way. Like, hey, you're struggling with confidence. Hey, we're gonna help you with confidence. We're gonna push you outside your comfort zone.
Imagine every sickness you ever got and every disease, they hear like, here's the life pill.
Yeah.
Take a pill and it helps you. That's what we do with education. It's like, no matter what your problems are, no matter what you do, no matter what your strengths are, no matter what your weaknesses are.
It's like snake. Oh my god, it's snake oil.
Dude,
snake oil. People are like, snake oil, it fixes this, it fixes this, it fixes this. Education. What's your problem? Oh, you're not confident. Education system. You're a shy person? You're a shy person?
Oh, you do drugs? You do drugs? Oh, you must not have gone to a good college.
It's like it's snake oil. It's literally
which is full circle because a lot of the ads we have for Apex, people comment, "What a snake oil salesman." I'm like, dude, you don't realize I'm a salesman, 100%, but I'm trying to sell you from stop being sold by the scam, which is the system. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Snake oil. People are like, you're trying to steal our money. The only thing we're trying to steal is your kid away from the system that's 100% just corrupt.
People are like, you're scamming. I'm like, yeah, I'm scamming you guys from the scam. I'm scamming you away from the scam. And that's the thing, like,
scamming the scammers who scam the scam artists who scam
it's
scammers.
Literally equivalent.
Makes sense.
100%, that was powerful. It's literally equivalent to me giving you a pill. My leg hurts. Me giving you a pill. Like, okay, I'll take it. Then you're being like, my eyes are red. Giving you a pill. Take it. Same exact pill. Then you're like, I got a cut on my arm. Me giving you a pill. Saying, oh, take it. It may work for 1 or 2 or 3. But eventually, when you go through the thousands of struggles that people have, that humans have, eventually the pill's not going to work. And that's what the education system is. We need a pill that literally diagnoses what's wrong with your body and then literally chemically goes to fight it. You know what I mean? If we do have one pill, it needs to literally interact with your body, or we have a bunch of pills, specifically like kind of we do now. That's exactly the model for education.
100%. And right now, the best, like, it's going to take a while to get there, right? The best thing we can do is figure out the most fundamental building blocks and give kids that, because it'll give them more transformation than the education system on its own ever would. But we have to be striving to get to the point where it's Aristotle forever. We have to be striving to the point where we're fostering every kid's greatness in their own unique way. It has to be a priority that no matter how good our results our current education gets, that we're striving for personalized.
That will always be the goal, right? Like the far out there, that'll be the leaves. We just have to work on the trunk.
100%.
We have to just work on it until we get to the leaves. And here's the thing, climb to the trunk. And that's the thing, like,
it's so unethical that I haven't raised billions of dollars.
100%, I agree with you, dude. Let's not even get started on that. People raise billions of dollars for dating apps. We can raise billions of dollars for a mission to change the world. And we're going to. But, like,
the gun that kills most people is the gun.
Yeah, that's true. It is true. That's the facts, bro. People always make fun of me with my quotes. They'll mimic me back with a quote I said, and I'm like, dang, that's the smartest you ever sounded. That's why you just said the gun that kills most people, and I looked at you and I was like, wow,
that was
Ryan.
really fire.
Now you
Have you heard the Arnold quote?
Have
you heard the Arnold quote?
What was that?
When people are like, oh, I never want to look like you. He goes, don't worry, you never will.
I love that.
That's savage.
Dude, it's true though. It's true. Anyway, so I forget where we were going with the previous statement, but we're just kind of flowing, guys. Flowing. It's, by the way, for anyone listening, it's 1:31 a.m.
Holy crap!
But this is exactly what we would do if there was no camera. It literally is like it's to a T what we'd be doing.
100%, and it's real too. Cause like I'm done with this whole thing. Of like, what would the persona version of me that does this
do to resonate?
The version of me that gets what I want is me.
Right.
I don't need to be someone else. I just need.
It's not the personality. It's not the persona. It's the person.
It's the person, exactly.
That's it.
Dude, I need to go
personas don't win.
100%.
Personas don't win.
Personas are
persons
fake.
do. People do.
Did I say have a persona?
Who do we like to watch? We don't like to watch entertainers. We like to watch people who are entertaining. Get it?
Oh,
we don't like to watch.
Ever watch speakers?
We don't like to watch motivational speakers. We like to watch speakers who are motivational. The reason why is we don't like to watch personas that put on a show. Our shows are the persons and the people that you know what I mean?
100%.
I've been saying that a lot. You know what I mean?
100%. Because like even like I like what you said the other day to that girl. She came up to you and asked you, "I want to be a motivational speaker. How do I become a motivational speaker? I'm trying to get started. I'm posting videos." And you're like, "Don't be a motivational speaker. Be known for what you did off stage."
And then talk about it on stage.
Be a motivating person. Not
I met Jeff Hoffman, because whenever I was 15, I met Jeff Hoffman, founder of Priceline.com. He won a Grammy, all sorts of stuff. Right? You met him before.
What?
Did you meet Jeff Hoffman before?
No, I haven't.
He founded Priceline.com. I thought you said you might have met him at an event. Anyway, I thought we might have met him together. Nah, because it wasn't Florida. Anyway, so I met Jeff Hoffman, and I had a one-on-one combo with him. I was like, dude, what? Because he'd seen my videos. I said, what is the number one thing you would tell me? And he said, stop trying to be known for what you said and become known for what you did. And then say what you did. And what his meaning was, don't be known for a quote you said, be known for something you built. He literally said these words, be known for what you build. He said, be known for what you build rather than something you say. And then when you get on stage, you talk about what you build. And that's what's going to inspire people to build more stuff. We have an industry of people that speak and say things, and they're trying to be known for what they say. Therefore, that creates people that want to be known for what they say. And we have this flywheel, this spiral momentum of people trying to be known for what they say. But the people who are at the top, they're just sitting there laughing because they're the ones who did.
That's like one of my least favorite things personally is I don't like getting on camera trying to be motivating. It's one of my least favorite things ever because like,
dude, that's what ruined me. Because in the beginning for me, it wasn't motivation. It was transformation.
100%.
Then people classify me as your motivation. Then I started to become motivation. Now I'm at a place, dude, I just want to be conversation.
100%.
If it happens to be people's inspiration, I'm in. If it happens to be their transformation, I'm in. And it will be.
It's like, here's the thing, if someone wants me to motivate them, like I'm sitting in front of them and they ask me a question, I might motivate them.
These two are truth, by the way, bro. They've been
listening for
how long has this been? No clue.
I don't know. It's been a minute.
We've been jobs.
But like I don't want to be. I don't want to try to motivate people. Like when the camera gets put on me, it's like, what do you have to say to motivate people? It's like, I don't know, not really anything. But if someone's like sitting in front of me and I happen to motivate them, I'll do that all day. If someone needs help with something and I see they're struggling with something, I'll sit there and talk to them and and I'm happy to motivate them. But I'm not like, all right, I'm gonna motivate them. That's not it's just a wrong thought. Like it's fake. It's just fake, and it's facade. It's a facade, and
it's blur.
It needs to be real in order for it to feel good and like just authentic.
It's a mirage.
Exactly.
It's literally a mirage because you just see it and it disappears.
Because like, for me, I never understood why I hated filming so much, and it really
it's like one of those things you can see but you can't touch.
100%. And I meditated on it forever. Like I couldn't figure out because you called me out on it. Like, why do you like filming? I'm like, honestly, I don't really know. I hate it. I don't know why. And I realized
you have to put on persona.
You have to put on a persona to like. Especially because everyone we know is like motivational, like off on their things, including you. And I'll be like, you're like, what do you have to say to them to motivate them? And I'm like, nothing. Like, nothing. Because like I don't like the feeling of feeling fake, but I like the idea of motivating people through actions, not through words.
Through actions and who you are.
And who you are.
Not through a persona. You can't motivate through a persona. 100%. You can only motivate for the person you are. Best speakers you ever see at events, I've noticed trends. The best speakers you see at events are the ones who told the best stories.
Here's what I noticed about you.
And the thing about the best stories are the people who took the best actions. That's why they have the best stories.
Here's what I noticed about you. When I first met you and you're like, oh, were you 14?
Yeah.
Every video you filmed.
Wow, we each other, man.
Oh, yeah, dude, let's go. Every video you filmed, I remember being there, was like, you weren't being like, what can I say that's motivating? You're like, dude, this content, I gotta film it right now. You know, I gotta say this. And you just like you weren't like, all right, the gun that kills most people is the gun. Okay, that's gonna motivate you. Like, you were just like, we film a video and you'd say a line and it just like stuck.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna be motivating. And now it's like, you're like strategic about it and stuff like this. and it's just not as raw. Like I remember, like now we have teams and this, and they do the system. Like it was like edit the video, and then you're like editing it, and then you're posting it.
How do I maintain that raw? Like I get it from a filming standpoint. That's game. Got that figured out. Done. Gonna do it. I feel really, really good about that. The editing. Because I used to edit it, and I used to be on it, and I used to, it would be me.
Here's a thought. I don't really know where I'm going with this thought, but we're gonna throw this thought out there. So people who are speakers, who are polished speakers, I hate
polished speakers. People always ask me, how do I become a better speaker? No.
Don't.
I'm a better person.
They get rid of all the ands, they know every word for word, and it's like they were a great speaker by textbook, but I hated them. Like their speech was just so boring. But like a great speaker gets up there isn't a great speaker, they just have a great story to tell. And I almost feel like back in the day, some of the videos were edited less good. Right?
Yeah.
It was scrappier. Like it wasn't.
That's what I mean.
Like it wasn't like
it was me editing.
Because it was you editing and you were trying to get up fast, and there'd be little errors here and there. Like I remember you used to have so many grammatical errors in your what's it called? Your sub headlines and stuff like that.
Shout out to Rev though. That's why that problem's fixed.
100%. And I'm not saying we should go
No,
back.
I know what you mean.
But like, I don't really know where I'm going with it, but it's just that the rawness of
almost even the editing. Stop being so polished.
Yeah, just make it, post it. It's the content that goes viral, not the editing.
Dude, that's powerful. That's what I'm thinking. I wrote that down.
Fine line.
That's why I just wrote down in my notes. Whenever if someone saw me typing, I said, destroy the social media plan. You didn't have one when you moved people. You may have one whenever you dude. This is whenever I'm just filming. Like,
did Martin Luther King have a?
Martin Luther King didn't have a marketing plan.
Yeah,
his mission was the marketing.
His mission was the marketing.
He wasn't logical. He was radical.
Here's the thing. I feel like almost sometimes we're too strategic for our own good because we strive too much.
Hold on. It's always chess. How to play chess. But you know what I learned? Like I don't want to play chess. Chess is so like.
In chess you get one move, but in life you get as many as you want every turn.
And it's one giant game.
Yeah.
So it's like every single move you make is not really a move. Because think about a chess game. It's like moves. It's like 30 minutes. An hour, 2 hours. I don't know. But a lifetime is a lifetime. So that means
if you can play chess, but you got as many turns as you want on the first turn, you get checkmate every single time.
100%.
But we're like, let's do.
And you can't because like it's not the moves that you're making in life are just basically thoughts. If you think about how long life is,
100.
They're equivalent to thoughts. So all the thoughts you're thinking about in chess, that's what moves are in life. You know what I mean? It's like the thoughts of chess is the actions of life. With if you look at scale, and I feel like people they try to be so strategic with every single. Like you in chess, you gotta think about every option. Same thing in life, you gotta try every option. Doesn't mean every option is gonna get you checkmate, but you can. The good genius part of life is like people say, "I wish I had more lives." Like, dude, you
basically
every
try
day
every
is
option.
new life.
You basically try every option without sacrificing the king.
Yeah,
right. Every reputation, some other stuff.
It's not even like the first move. It's like every single move.
Every move.
You can try. You can play 100. It's like this. Life's like this. They say you can play as many games as you want, but you gotta win one of them.
Here's the analogy I always use, bro. Life is like this. They put you up to bat in a baseball field, right? And they say, we're going to throw you 100 pitches, right? Mm-hmm. You can bunt, you can swing for the fences. At the end of the day, no matter how many you hit, it doesn't matter. None of this matters anyways. And then you get out there, so basically it's free reign. There's no winning or losing. It's just
you gotta hit one in the outfield.
You just gotta hit one in the outfield.
And then the whole crowd will cheer.
Hey, but guess what? It doesn't matter after that. Like, you go away, so that's it. And in life, people go out there, because they have their whole life to live. They can swing for the fences, they can bunt, and nothing, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, right? Because you're going to die, you're going to go away, whatever you believe in, right? But people go out there and they just bunt. They just go out there and they bunt.
A lot of people don't step up to bat.
They don't even get out to bat.
They're so afraid about how fast it is. Some people step up to bat and then run away when the pitch is thrown. Other people bunt, some people swing, and some people hit home runs.
And you only got to hit one home run.
You only got to hit one. And then everyone knows he was a legend. You've seen how kids hit their home runs.
And their home run,
understand their unlimited game.
Their home run is their greatness, bro.
You don't run out of baseballs in this game of life.
Really, with the one thing we foster is what, the one thing every kid should know is you have greatness inside, you have to discover it.
Yeah.
Every kid should believe you have greatness inside, you have to discover it. Every day of their life, they should be thinking, I have greatness inside me, I just have to discover it. I have greatness inside me, I just have to discover it. What's my unique ability? How can I become the greatest in the world at being me? Like, they should be thinking that every day. Every day, they just thought that one thing. If that one thing happened, life would change for everybody in this world.
On that note, bro,
Dude.
I feel like that was a good comment, man.
Fire.
Oh, I'm excited for more of these. I think it's good because it also gives us time to brainstorm and talk.
100%, we can justify
so we can justify it because it's like, well, we're talking, but we're also getting content, right?
We're making content.
Anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Not so
share with friends.
Most people. do, but you can listen on our conversations. Be a fly on the wall. That's what it comes down to. We have one goal.
Or you can just be a human.
Race.
Human sounds better than fly.
Human sounds better than fly. Be a human. Not on the wall, but in the game. 100%. In the combo. That's what it is. By the way, we want them to be in the combo. We want them to message us, drop comments, communicate with us,
send us
let us know.
checks.
We're gonna start answering questions too. This was like a real conversation, so
it's good.
We're gonna figure. I think we'll do like,
I feel like I
some
learned
days.
stuff in this conversation
I learned
myself.
Crazy enough. I don't even know if I can explain how big of breakthroughs I just had.
100%. Especially about like how our education system can't be stagnant.
There's just so many. I actually want to watch this back. It's like watching film after basketball. I want to watch back and like make sure none of these go unnoticed. Because guys, as we're talking about these conversations, remember these are conversations between Ryan and I. It's not just us to you. It's me and him. And if you so happen to learn on these, and we want you guys part of the conversation.
Don't you feel like the camera's like somewhere over here, but you don't know where it is, even though it's right there?
Yeah, I don't know where it's at.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? And these to me this makes it sound like a more like the microphone and headphones just makes it sound like a more professional conversation. You know what I mean? Like it's the same combo, but just I can hear it better.
We put these headphones on and microphones on to have conversations without the camera. We're weird like that.
No, we actually do too. We'll put these on because you can hear the other person so well. I can be all the way over here.
It sounds like you're in a movie too, so it feels like surreal.
Yeah, it's like a whole different reality. Anyway.
All right, cool. On that note, bro, let's get it.
See you guys.